Okay, let's begin after a big break of Diwali. We had started with the lesson on cell biology and biotechnology in the previous lecture, right? And the lesson is divided into two parts. The first part is about cell biology, which is actually not about the details of structures of cells and their parts or something. It is more about their application. So you remember we had already spoken about something called stem cells, okay, their application. Then based on stem cells, we had spoken about something called as organ transplantation, organ donation. याद है वो सब अच्छे से everyone?
Yes.
Right, that was the first part of the lesson we had spoken. All of you are able to see my screen? Okay. So we had seen all the other applications also about the stem cells and how it is associated with different kinds of research. Like the concept of research was highlighted in this lesson actually. So I have already spoken about what different types of researches people do in this field in various laboratories that are spread out, and new labs are also coming up. New people are engaging into this kind of research and they are coming out with new discoveries. Okay, so I've given you names of certain research institutes also based on this. So going ahead with that, correlating with cell biology, there is another field which is a very upcoming, and many people are engaged in this work, and that is about something called biotechnology. All of you must have heard this word called as biotechnology. I suppose it's not a new one for you, you know. So if you split up the word biotechnology, whatever you might be knowing about it till now, okay, it is something based on most often laboratory research. Okay, so simply speaking, whenever you see the word biotechnology, you can split up the word into two parts. The first part is bio and the other one is technology. Okay, that's the way. Whenever in case of biology, whenever you are having such technical terms, it's always better to split up the word and try to understand the meaning. Okay, so the word technology is again very common. Right now we all are interacting from our respective homes because we are having the technology, correct? That's why in this corona period the classes and all were going on as such. So technology has become a part of our daily life. So here when you say biotechnology, it is again associated with bio, and the word bio stands for life. That means in biotechnology, what basically are we doing? We are using the common life process of different living organisms for our benefit. In simple terms, like biotechnologies might be sounding very big, something like a rocket science or something, but as a name, it is very simple to understand. Okay, and it is purely based on application. Application का मतलब है कि like first you should have the knowledge about all the respective types of organisms, and then based on their study you should be applying them for our benefit. That is biotechnology. Okay, the simplest example which you all have learned, how do you make curd at home? दही कैसे जमाते? Yes, yes Harsha, how do you prepare curd? Come on, you know it. You know the name of the microorganism also. Which one is it?
Lactobacilli.
Yes, it is lactobacillus. All of you are aware, we have done microbiology, correct? So lactobacillus is the one that we use. We add 1 or 2 spoons of the curd to the new fresh vessel of milk. And after a few hours, that entire vessel of milk turns into curd. That's the simplest thing which we observe in our kitchen. That is nothing but biotechnology. Getting it? Why? Because we know very well that lactobacillus has got that property. It will convert the milk sugar into lactic acid, making it into a curd. And we are using the property of that lactobacillus for our benefit. We want the curd and we are dependent on lactobacillus for that. So that is the simplest example of biotechnology in our kitchen. Getting it? That is how it is. So instead of lactobacillus, Why don't we use any other bacteria or something? Why can't we put amoeba into it? What will happen if you put amoeba into milk? Will you get curd? Of course not.
No.
Because we know the fact that amoeba cannot do the thing which lactobacillus can do. Getting it? In microbiology, we have learned about antibiotics. Penicillium notatum, the first antibiotic which was discovered from that. So penicillium has got that property. Lactobacillus cannot give you that antibiotic. So like that, every species, every organism has got some potential within it, which nature has given it in the course of evolution. We just find it out and we modify that according to our benefit. That's the example of biotechnology. Okay. So when you talk about biotechnology, it has got various fields which it touches upon. Okay. So when you say biotechnology, first of all, it touches upon something called cytology. It's a very broad field. Like any one person cannot do entire biotechnology. As you can see here, three broad categories: plant biotechnology, environmental biotechnology, and animal biotechnology. Okay, so a person who is a botanist studying about plants will do biotechnology with respect to plants. Somebody who is a zoologist will do it with respect to animals. And a microbiologist will do biotechnology with respect to microorganisms. An ecologist will go for environmental studies. So application is based on every field. So when you say biotechnology, the minimum understanding, if you see, is required with respect to cytology, which is nothing but the study of cells. Okay, so understanding about the cell, its different organelles, their structure, location, distribution, functions, everything has to be known. So one can do biotechnology based on that. Okay, next is something called molecular biology. Molecular biology is again related to cell biology, but this is more about nucleic acids. Okay, that is about DNA and RNA. You know that. Okay, so how the DNA functions, because that is there in the nucleus and it controls all the activities of a cell. So molecular biology is again very important to apply it in the field of biotechnology. Okay, right now we don't need to go into all the details of that, but you have learned about transcription, translation, you remember. That's a part of molecular biology. Okay, and then biochemistry. The word itself tells you chemistry is the study of chemicals. So the word biochemistry means those chemicals which are found inside living cells. So inside living cells, you get carbohydrates, proteins, enzymes, hormones, okay, lipids, vitamins, nucleic acids again. So their structures, their distribution, their functions, their types, all that comes under biochemistry. This is also required for biotechnology. Okay, then you have genetic engineering. Okay, like everybody talks about engineering. One wants to become an engineer. So software engineer we say, mechanical engineering हम बोलते हैं. So genetic engineering also one of them. It is associated with biology. You all know the meaning of the word gene, which is a part of the DNA. So any cell, a living cell, you select the gene of your choice and you manipulate it as per our requirement. Okay, that is genetic engineering. You take out one gene from an organism, transfer that to another organism, the other organism will get a new gene and will express that character. That is genetic engineering. We will see some examples after this. Okay, फिर आता है agriculture. You know very well, India is an agricultural country, right? The basic requirement for agriculture is that every person should have food in your plate. Food is the basic necessity. So imagine if everywhere in the world agriculture just stops, what will happen? You might be into any profession, you might have any qualification, but if you don't have food to eat, what will you do? So agriculture is necessary, correct? And biotechnology can also have applications in agriculture, quite a lot of applications in it. A simple example, are you aware about that vegetable called capsicum? हम लोग normally शिमला मिर्च बोलते हैं, correct? What is the normal color of capsicum?
Green.
Green. But have you seen red and yellow capsicum also in the market?
Yes.
Yes.
We use that in like various food dishes in order to give color and variety to the food. So that yellow and red capsicum is not grown naturally. That is developed by biotechnology. Okay. You eat grapes, right? In the summer season, it is very good for rehydration. Very good fruits. So do you get seeds inside the grapes? नहीं.
No.
So naturally जो grapes होते हैं उनमें seeds होते हैं. But the ones that you eat do not have seeds. The reason is biotechnology. We have modified the genes. We have done genetic engineering for those crops and we have modified it for our benefit. So that's a part of agriculture. Okay. And then, of course, medicine and human welfare. This is again very important. Like using biotechnology, lots of medicines are developed. The latest example is the COVID-19 vaccine. Pandemic start hua worldwide, there was so much problem, but scientists came up with a solution, and it was possible because of what? Biotechnology. Okay, when the virus started spreading across the world, so samples were collected, they were analyzed in the laboratory. So understanding of the virus was the prerequisite. कि क्या है ये COVID-19? What does it contain? It was understood कि वो retrovirus है, RNA है उसमें. So then according to that, the vaccine was important. Okay, and the vaccine is nothing but the inactivated virus itself. Because in its presence, our body starts producing antibodies. So your latest example. So because of the vaccine now, many people are being saved. Those who have completed both the doses, they are very less prone to infection. So chances of survival increase. So that's the best example of biotechnology. Okay, are these points clear, everyone? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And then coming to the different areas of biotechnology, that's what we just said. Okay, you can see like the first thing, ability of the microbes. Okay, like yogurt production, alcohol from molasses. We have already seen that in microbiology, right? So how different types of microorganisms are used for various types of products. Okay, in introduction to microbiology, we have seen all the possible examples. Okay, like this one, bakeries and confectionaries, right? Dairy products, yogurts, okay, organic acids, antibiotics, environment protection. So many options we have seen. So they are all examples of biotechnology. Okay, and productivity of the cells. Cells are capable of producing lot of products. So many enzymes can be produced, antibiotics can be produced. So obtaining antibiotic from penicillium is an example of cell productivity. Okay, and use of molecules like DNA and proteins in human welfare. Okay, like many such stem cell is also another example for that. Okay, we are using the DNA, the healthy DNA to be replaced with a damaged one. So human welfare takes place. Correct. Then you have gene manipulation. Okay, gene manipulation means it's like when scientists understood that every character in the body is expressed because of a certain gene or a DNA. So we could easily manipulate it. Just seedless grapes, I gave the example. So because there was gene manipulation, now you're getting grapes which are of better quality. And especially in the case of crops, you know very well, many of the crops, they suffer from a lot of diseases when farmers grow them in the field. So fungi, bacteria, viruses, they keep attacking them. So plants are destroyed. Farmers suffer a huge loss. So unse bachane ke liye gene manipulation is done. Okay, so genetically modified bacteria can be made to produce human growth hormone. Insulin is another example. Many examples are there. Okay, and then use of genetic as well as non-genetic technique. So we have something called tissue culture. Tissue culture means simply like it is divided into plant tissue culture and animal tissue culture. So in the test tube in the laboratory, you are able to grow either parts of animals or entire plants. That is micro propagation. Okay, hybrids. We grow hybrids. One species crossed with another species to create a hybrid, and the hybrid has got better characters than the actually existing species. Okay, so we apply it for various crops and all. So these are a lot of different areas where biotechnology can be useful. Okay, similarly, if you see the benefits, okay, what are the uses or the benefits of biotechnology? Okay, so here we can see it is possible to increase the per hectare yield of the crops. As I said, when it comes to agriculture, human population is only increasing. It is population explosion which is going on. So in order to feed the ever increasing population, the food requirement is also more. Everybody wants food, but ये food कहाँ से आएगा? We might say कि I will go to the local market and buy the crops. I can buy tomatoes, I can buy potatoes, I can buy any other crops. But those people are getting it from the farmers. Somebody is growing the crops in the field because of which you are getting it in your plate. Right? So area under agriculture has been decreasing. And many of the farmers are also leaving that occupation. So in the available area, if I want to increase the yield so that every part of the field is used and more crops are produced, so it will be able to solve the food crisis. Okay, then you have resistant varieties. As I said, plants suffer from a lot of diseases. Plants are attacked by a lot of pests, caterpillars and all. They keep on feeding on the crops and destroying it. So plants have to be very resistant. Okay, it's like, imagine if you go to the market to buy tomatoes. Okay, your parents will say, okay, 1 kilo tomato lekar aao. So when you go to the vendor, you will select every piece of tomato while you are buying, or do you just tell the vendor कि 1 kilo निकाल के दे दो करके? What do? You will scan, you will check every piece of tomato. If there is any cut on the tomato, if there is any kind of an abnormal appearance on the tomato, do you buy it? No, you keep it aside. So all such damaged ones go back and they are wasted. So when the farmers are growing them, imagine 50% of the tomatoes in the field are damaged like this. So the farmer is suffering a huge loss, no? Because nobody is buying it. So plants have to be highly resistant. That is where biotechnology comes into picture. Got it? Be on the screen, everyone. Turn your videos on. Okay. Then fast fruit setting varieties. That means we want fruits throughout the year. Okay, which is the most favorite fruit of most of the people? सबसे favorite fruit कौन सा है बताओ अपना अपना?
Mango.
ऐसे question में Abhiram is the first one to answer. Yes, it is mango. Which other? Shiv Ganga, what about you?
Mango.
अरे वाह, very good. Dipali, Mayuresh, बोलो.
Grapes. Mango.
Okay.
Watermelon, sir.
Watermelons, correct. Very good. Okay. So these are some of the common fruits that you find in the market. Of course, mango is not very common, but when it comes, you know very well, it's like a celebration, especially the Alfonso variety. Correct. So imagine that very good quality, high quality mango. If you start getting it very commonly in the market like bananas, तो क्या होगा सोचो? Is it possible? Could be possible. Could be possible. We can manipulate it by biotechnology, right? But okay, somewhere we should not go against the nature. That is also a very important requirement. Correct? Because mango crop, as per the natural rules, it will bear fruits only during the summer season. April, May are the months when it starts fruiting. So we should not be manipulating it so much that the actual biological vigor of the crop is destroyed. Biotechnology का मतलब ये भी नहीं है. That is also important. Okay, but just to imagine, if you start getting mangoes every time, it will be enjoyable, correct? And like the grapes, suppose if you start getting seedless mangoes, कि आम खा रहे गुटली है ही नहीं अंदर, will you enjoy the pulp? Normally when you eat mango, you know very well, right? It's not your mouth, it's your entire face which becomes yellow. That's the way you eat most of the time. So when there are no seeds inside it, imagine how enjoyable it will be. Could be possible. I'm telling about the possibility of biotechnology, but whatever is possible, every time it has to be done, that's not the case, correct? And then stress resistant. You know very well that right now the environmental crisis that is going on, that is climate change, global warming, greenhouse effect, all that is affecting the environment largely. Just 2 days back in Dombivli, there was rain in Mumbai. You know that? November is not the season for
Yes.
rains here. Like in coastal regions of the western coast also, there were a lot of rainfall which took place. So yeah, unseasonal rains. And that can be very damaging. Farmers know it best. Because what winter season समझकर crops sow करेंगे and then it will be raining. So germination will be affected, yield will be affected. Soil fertility change होता है, water stress हो जाते हैं. So crops are affected very badly. And then in the market, when the same crops, their cost increases, we are the ones to complain. कितना दाम कैसे बढ़ गया? So biotechnology is necessary. Okay. So let us see the development. When we understand this background about biotechnology in India, okay, after this awareness took place, okay, like many people were not so qualified in the, if you go down few decades earlier, people did not having a lot of qualifications, but now many people are entering into these fields and they are getting good qualifications. So उसमें ऐसा हो गया कि 1978 there was this Indian biotech story which began. There was a company called Biocon. 1978 में established. Early 1980s में it took the initiative to develop, to spread the awareness and to increase the awareness about biotechnology. So there were many agencies which were developed, okay, under this Biocon. So DST. DST stands for it's like Department of Biotechnology. DBT करके का. एक DBT है Department of Biotechnology. DST is Department of Science and Technology. Okay. Then you have CSIR, Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. Then you have ICAR, Indian Council of Agricultural Research. ICMR, Indian Council for Medical Research. Okay. UGC, University Grants Commission. So all such agencies were developed one after the other, somewhere in the early 1980s. Because if you go back that time, see at this generation, if you see, many people are getting good qualifications. Graduation, post-graduation, doctorate, post-doctorate, research level, सब कर रहा है. So Indian government has a role to play to promote this kind of research. So ये जो agencies होते हैं, they provide the funding. Because when laboratories have to be established, a lot of instruments are required, a lot of chemicals are required, which are costly. And if a person from a middle class background will go into such laboratories, we cannot spend so much. But if you are having the requisite talent and the skill to work in such laboratory, you just have to put your skills, the government will give the money. So such agencies are the ones which provide in the name of fellowship or scholarships or whatever you say. Okay, so National Biotechnology Development Board was established in 1982. And then under the government of India, this DBT called Department of Biotechnology was established in 1986. So 1986 mein, in the entire world, India was the first such country to create something called DBT, a separate department only for biotechnology, which was under the Ministry of Science and Technology. Like in civics or political science, if you study, you know very well, under the government of India, there are various ministries. Tourism, environment, family welfare, external affairs, ऐसे बहुत सारे ministries होते हैं. This is one of them, Ministry of Science and Technology, which takes care of the different aspects with respect to science and technology. So those ministers who are a part of this ministry, their duty is to ensure that these agencies are working properly, and under these agencies there are many institutes which are developed in our country. New institutes are given, new laboratories are created, new scientists are recruited. Okay, so let us take a look at some such institutes. Okay, see this. This is NII, located at Delhi, National Institute of Immunology. Okay, that is NII. Then you have National Facility for Animal Tissue and Cell Culture at Pune. You can see how sophisticated laboratories are there. High level instruments are there. Can you or me purchase them? Of course not. So you need special laboratories for that. So these agencies provide the funding. Each instrument is very costly. They go into lakhs and crores. So government allocates certain amount of money for such institutes. So in the future, like so now you are in 10th standard, you will complete your 12th. After that, you will go for BSc, MSc. Okay, graduation, post graduation. So either at the MSc level or after that at the PhD level, you can join such laboratories and you can work over there. So you will get your fellowship every month. Okay, right now in today's date, if I tell you, every month the fellowship that a student receives who joins such a lab is approximately 30 to 35,000 per month. And that is good, no? While you're studying, while you're getting the experience, at the same time you're also getting money, and that is your own money. It's like you're earning. Okay, so that is why if you are planning to enter into such a field, always try to get hold of some fellowship. So these agencies which I said, they have their own competitive exams also. So when you are eligible for such exams, you have to clear that exam with a good rank, so you get selected for fellowship. That's how the channel progresses. Okay, ye dekho, NBRC, located at Gurugram. Gurugram is Gurgaon, near Delhi, Haryana. Okay, this is NBRC, National Brain Research Institute. Entire research institute only for research on human brain. Okay, तो मतलब सिर्फ brain के ऊपर you can see how big the campus is. पूरा institute developed उसके लिए. So you can imagine how many laboratories. This is the place where I have visited also, NBRC. Very wonderful campus, nicely spread out. They have very good hostel facilities also. Okay, lot of scientists are working over there. Students are getting their PhD degrees over there, so one can work. And in India, many such institutes. All these institutes examples which I am telling you, lot of students are taken in every year, and people work over there. Okay, even I did my PhD from one such institute, that is Forest Research Institute at Dehradun. Okay, my sister is presently doing her PhD from ISER at Tirupati, Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research. So these are such of the laboratories that we have seen and we have worked. Ye dekho, CMAP at Lucknow, Central Institute of Medicinal and Aromatic Plants. Okay, so only on medicinal plants there is a separate institute. See the big campus. ये building ऐसे तो नहीं खड़े किया ना. There are people working over there. Okay, and you can always go to the websites of these institutes and you can see the details. So you will get very clear idea how these institutes work. Okay, are these points clear, everyone? Okay, fine. So now the next part that we have to see, we have seen what is biotechnology, what are the different areas of biotechnology with their benefits and a complete background. Practically also we have seen how this biotechnology works. Okay, the next part after this that we have to see are the different applications, specific applications of biotechnology with relevant examples. Okay, any doubts still here, everyone? So
No.
clear? Okay,